Previously on the channel, I talked about the found footage film Dashcam, about an obnoxious streamer who has their stream interrupted by a bunch of scary, horrific, supernatural kind of stuff. And today I'm going to be talking about DEADSTREAM, which is also about an obnoxious streamer whose stream gets interrupted by a bunch of scary, horrific, supernatural kind of stuff. And it's night and day with these movies. Let's say that Deadstream is kind of the antidote to Dashcam. Very, very similar premise, execution, and overall effect. Much different and much better, I would say. What we have here with the plot is we have this YouTuber, Sean, who's very much the stereotypical YouTube bro kind of guy, always doing these outrageous stunts, and he's very over the top, both in personality and kind of editing and stuff like that. So right away, like, I mean, it's not like right on the nose perfect, but you get a sense, yeah, this is definitely a YouTube kind of guy that we kind of know and have seen before, and you know, it hits its satirical marks pretty closely. But the problem with Sean is that he's been pretty much canceled due to one of his stunts kind of going a little bit too far, and that's kind of something that's revealed a little bit later, kind of uncovered as the movie kind of progresses, and we learn kind of what exactly happened and why it was as bad as it was. But he wants to win his audience back. He has a new sponsor to kind of give him the shot in the arm that he needs to revamp his YouTube career. And he has a new stunt planned to stay in this haunted house, Death Manor. This abandoned house has been abandoned for decades, and it's supposedly haunted by the ghost of a woman named Mildred, who was a poet and kind of a failed writer, sort of, and anyone who occupied the house after her suicide mysteriously died, and they abandoned the house. And he's like, I'm gonna stay here, and I'm not gonna let myself leave. You know, he throws his car keys away, he locks himself in basically, and he sets up his whole stream with like cameras all over the place. You know, he has this little gadgets and things like that. So he's in it for the long run, basically, and that's how we play out the movie. And he gives himself little mini challenges, like doing a seance and things like that, basically to make the situation as scary as possible for him. And you know, I'll say right off the bat, with that premise in mind, the illusion of it being this stream works pretty well. I mean, it feels as if you're watching this stream that's going horribly awry. And the character, while he's definitely annoying and comically cowardly as well, what happens throughout the movie is that we do kind of get on his side a little bit. We kind of, you know, are with him for, you know, the whole challenge of surviving this movie, which is kind of a difficult thing when you present a character that is intentionally supposed to be unattractive in a way, or you know, unappealing in a way, where something like Dashcam kind of failed in that we don't really want to go through this with Annie Hardy. Here with Sean, we do kind of want to see him through to the end of the night, so to speak. And so, you know, things get progressively more dangerous and unexplained. You know, his audience is interacting with him and letting him know what's kind of going on and certain things that are happening. And then things kind of go wildly awry when a fan actually tracks him down and joins him for the stream, basically. And you're kind of wondering, what's the deal here? Is she part of this overall supernatural haunting kind of thing? And well, I mean, yeah, we kind of, expect something a little bit different, let's say, with her. Not to give away too much. I won't spoil it entirely. But you know, the movie it kind of ramps up and up more and more kind of off the wall kind of stuff. And in addition to being this found footage kind of thing, we definitely, absolutely kind of get whiffs of Evil Dead inspiration. So it's that kind of wacky horror kind of stuff. And you almost kind of wish that the effects were a little bit better, just a little bit, so that it felt more convincing as a stream. Though it does its job well enough in that department. But you kind of wish it was a little bit better. But then at the same time, it kind of makes it funny that it's kind of cheesy effects and stuff like that, giving it that Evil Dead kind of feel. Like, I mean, it's definitely not the first movie to be inspired by Evil Dead, and certainly won't be the last. And there's good reason for that. I mean, Evil Dead is kind of the shining example of, let's do a horror movie, let's put in as much imagination as possible with as minimal a budget as possible. And this is definitely not a high budget movie. This is very, very tiny budget film, but yeah, I guess they found a distributor, and it kind of worked out as a Shudder exclusive, so it can be watched on Shudder right now. And I think it's finding its audience ever since it was released. I think last year or maybe the year before, but it's definitely gaining its reputation, I think, and it's one that I've gone back to actually a couple of times, because yeah, it's an entertaining movie. It's good in terms of found footage, good in terms of just kind of the general story that it outlines. Like, I don't think this whole Mildred thing is like an actual real legend of anywhere. I think it's completely fabricated for the sake of the movie, but they kind of present it in an interesting way, as Sean kind of describes throughout the stream, kind of the story of the house, and kind of the conclusion that he comes to with this ghost, this demon, this supernatural force, however you want to classify it, where he's able to combat it in a way because he kind of recognizes it as similar to him in a way, in that this ghost, demon presence, whatever, throughout the years in claiming these souls, let's say, is not unlike a social media star who's collecting followers. So he feels a rapport in that kind of way. And so in that, he's able to understand Mildred a little better. He's able to fight against her a little bit better. So, it's kind of a silly, clever kind of play on the whole, climate we're in, where social media and followers and clicks and likes and shares and all that stuff is so very important. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe this video, please. Subscribe this video, yeah. But no, it's a very good movie, I would say. All the more impressive for all the smaller budget that it had. So I really enjoyed it. Definitely worth a watch on Shudder right now. Take a look. But that's my review. So we're doing 31 Days of Horror, exploring all the spooky, scary horror movies throughout the month of October. And yes, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But stay tuned for more as the month goes on. I'll see you again for the next video, and until then, stay scared.